everybody. Welcome to the world of weather. See, I'm even singing today. It is Thursday, and what a day. It is amazing outside. Still a little breezy, not as windy as yesterday, lots of sunshine. We'll get up to about 69, 70 degrees today. So go outside, enjoy, find some butterflies, some bugs, climb some trees, and enjoy your day. We do have rain moving in tomorrow, but luckily no severe weather tomorrow. So that is the good news. Today we're talking about something called El Nino and La Niña. And you've probably heard these words before. In Spanish, El Nino means the little boy and La Niña means the little girl. But they're actually related to weather. And I'm going to explain what it is, what makes it an El Nino year or El Niña season, what makes it La Niña, and how it relates to our weather. Because depending on where you are on the planet, it affects you differently. And believe it or not, it all has to do with the temperature of the ocean. And it's just amazing to think that what the temperature of the ocean is in one specific part of the world, how it really impacts weather across the entire globe. So it's really fascinating when you come to think of it. So we're gonna get our globe here, because it's all about a certain part of the globe. It's not just ocean temperatures in general, and it's not just the ocean temperature off the coast of the US. In fact, it's not even on the coast of the US. When you talk about El Nino and La Niña, you're talking about the East Central Equatorial Pacific. That's a mouthful. See if you can say that 3 times fast. East Central Equatorial Pacific. So Equatorial Pacific is the Pacific Ocean at the equator. So it's the Pacific Ocean at the equator, but it's the East Central Equatorial Pacific. So this is what is the East Central. This is the East Equatorial Pacific right here off the coast of South America. So you see, this is the United States. This is South America. This is Peru and Ecuador and Colombia. So this is the East Equatorial Pacific, and then this is the Central Equatorial Pacific. So you're talking about the ocean temperatures in this part of the world. And what makes it an El Nino or La Nina year is if the water temperature right here in this part of the world is either warmer than normal or cooler than normal. And believe it or not, whether it's warmer than normal or cooler than normal really affects weather across the entire planet. Now, you hear El Nino, you hear La Nina, but it's really ENSO is another word for it. And ENSO stands for El Nino Southern Oscillation. That's the technical term. So if you see ENSO, E-N-S-O, it's El Nino Southern Oscillation, and it's basically talking about those terms. It is a scientific term, so scientists use this term, and it describes the fluctuations between the temperatures in the ocean and what it means for the atmosphere. So depending on what the ocean temperature is in this part of the world, it really impacts us a lot. It makes our hurricane season more active or less active. It makes the difference between a wet winter or a dry winter, and it affects our temperatures as well. So those are the basics of what it is and what it relates to. It's this part of the ocean, and that is what ENSO is, or the El Nino Southern Oscillation. Now we're going to talk about what makes it an El Nino year, what makes it a La Nina year, and then we're going to talk about where we are right now. Just to put things into perspective, we're actually in a neutral pattern right now. Since July of 2019, we've been in a neutral pattern. That means we have not been in El Nino or La Nina. We've been at average. And there is about a 60% chance that that is expected to continue through the summer. So we are expected to be neutral. There have been some signs of warming, but it hasn't been significant enough to make it an El Nino year. Now, basics between El Nino and La Nina, we're going to get much more specific, but El Nino is the warm phase. So El Nino means warmer than average ocean temperatures. La Nina is also called the cold phase, and it means colder than average ocean temperatures. Again, right there over the Pacific, over the equator in the East Central Pacific. So El Nino, warmer water. La Nina, cooler water. So remember, El Nino warmer, La Nina cooler. We're in a neutral pattern, and we do have a 60% chance of staying in that neutral pattern as we head into the rest of the summer. Last year, during hurricane season, we were in a neutral pattern. We had slightly above average activity, and just by judging last year, we were in a similar pattern. Chances are we'll see a similar hurricane season this year, but certainly that's something as forecasters we're watching for. So again, El Nino is right here, East Central Equatorial Pacific, right off the coast of South America, here on the west coast of South America. If it's warmer, it's El Nino. If it's cooler, it's La Nina. So let's flip this camera around. As always, I do have you right here on Facebook. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask questions. Hopefully, I'm going to get through all these questions here so they'll be answered before you even have a chance to ask them. But looking quickly, I see all my friends are here. Hi, friends. Hi, Adam. Hi, Bob. Hi, Pam. Hi, Robin. Everyone's watching. Oh, Esteban, you're watching from Puerto Rico. Awesome. How's the weather in Puerto Rico right now? I bet it's hot. We've got Robin watching from Rome. Rick is watching from Austin, Texas. And Bob actually asked, what is the average period of an enso cycle? Great question. So usually they last between 9 to 12 months, but sometimes an enso cycle can last years. So again, usually 9 to 12 months, can last longer, and usually you see them occurring every 2 to 7 years. Again, that's a really big time frame. So there's still a lot of uncertainty when it comes to it, but we do know each cycle lasts about 9 to 12 months. It occurs every 2 to 7 years, and we have found that El Nino occurs more frequently than La Nina. So the warm phase occurs more frequently than the cool phase. So those are the basics on timing. And Bob, that was an awesome question. So let me flip this camera around, and we're going to get straight to it, because I know you don't want to just see my talking head the whole time. You want to see my cool graphics that explain. So I'm going to flip this around. Again, we and La Nina. As always, please ask questions. Let me get this centered here. And we are going to start talking about what is El Nino. And we talked about this on the globe, but this is a bit of a refresher. And we didn't really mention the trade winds. So I'm going to mention the trade winds here. So we have trade winds that basically come off the coast of South America and blow west. When the trade winds are weaker, they're not pushing that warm water away. They're not very strong. So the weaker winds are allowing that warm water to stay off the coast of South America. So when you have weaker trade winds, excuse me, that means that usually you have warm water right there off the coast of South America, and then extending, again, not just off the coast of South America, but through the central Pacific as well. So that is what El Nino looks like. Warmer ocean waters right there in the Pacific off the coast of South America. Now, in an El Nino year, when that water on that part of the ocean is warmer than normal, we have a southern storm track. So you look at the jet stream, and the jet stream is what controls our weather patterns here. And it's more south than it normally is. So it's a further south jet stream. So what that means is that we have warmer than average temperatures over western and central Canada. But as you head over western and northern US, it's wetter than average conditions in the Ohio Valley and Pacific Northwest. And what it means here in Georgia is we have a warm, wet pattern. So during an El Nino year, we have a warm, wet pattern. That means more rain and warmer temperatures. Now, La Nina is basically the opposite of El Nino. The trade winds are much stronger. So in your brain, visualize those stronger winds, and they're pushing from west to east. So because you have those stronger winds, that cooler air, cooler temperatures, or at least water temperature, is closer to South America because all that warm water is getting pushed away. So again, that's what it looks like. Cooler temperatures right there off the coast of South America during a La Nina year. And that means that the polar jet stream is higher up. So during a La Nina year, the jet stream is further north, and we see below average sea temperatures across the east central equatorial Pacific. But the effects are opposite of El Nino. During a La Nina year, the winter temps are warmer than normal in the southeast and cooler than normal in the Pacific Northwest. So that's what it looks like, a warm, dry pattern. So the question we have for today's trivia, what pattern are we currently in? And we are currently, is it El Nino, neutral, or La Nina? And it is a neutral pattern. We are currently neutral pattern. And I am watching here on Facebook. I hope oh, it's frozen. Okay, my video is coming through. My face is frozen. At least I'm not making a super awkward face, because every time it freezes, normally I'm making a super awkward face. I'm so sorry it froze. Hopefully you're still getting my information. That was the end of my lesson anyways. We are in a neutral pattern. And again, as long as you understand the dynamics that the temperature of the ocean in the Pacific, right there off the coast of South America, really affects our weather pattern around the globe and what it means for us here in the Southeast. El Nino is a warmer pattern, and again, it means different things for our area than the Pacific Northwest, as does La Nina. Everyone, I'm going to end it here because it is boring for you to watch a frozen face of me, but we're going to work on this. This is what happens when you're working from home. Unfortunately, you do have some technical difficulties. I am so sorry. I apologize. I wish I could fix it. Everyone have a safe and happy Thursday. Make sure you join us tomorrow. We are talking about weather on Mars for tomorrow's World of Weather at 1. Everyone, have a great day.